everybody. It's Mary Jo from MaryjoesCreations. How's everybody doing? I know I said I wasn't going to film or put out a video until next year, and I was going to take a break. And I did take a break, technically. Today is hold on. Today is the 29th, the 28th. Oh, Jesus, I'm losing my mind already. Today is the 28th, and honestly, I think that's about the longest break that I can take. I did work on some stuff, so this isn't going to be a very, well, I say that all the time, right? And then I start talking, and you have an hour-long video. But I really just wanted to show you, I filmed, I think, a few shorts that I showed y'all, but I really didn't film too much, just a few shorts of certain things that I was doing, but, like, I can't sit still. And if I'm going to sit here and do something, I might as well film it. So I did take a few days break, and I didn't do much of anything. I did continue to crochet because that's the only thing that keeps me sane. So I didn't do a lot, but yeah, right, and I come up with this entire basket. As far as, like, crochet, I finished the round. I don't know if I showed y'all, but I did finish the round on the second one, which I don't know which one it is, so I'll just show you both. But in this, I don't know why it comes out so bright, because this is not bright at all. But I got one sleeve done. The red is all the way around. I need, I think, 8 more rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I need 8 more rounds. So that's going to be 2 of the bright mixed colors, and then a round of the green, and then 2 more, like 4 rounds of the green and 2 more of this. And then it'll be done. So I am going to work on that this week. And I know Christmas is over, but we're going to finish it. And I also want to get that fall Halloween one, whatever it is, I believe it's Halloween one, finished too, because that's almost done. And that's what I was going to do on my downtime, but, like, again, like I said, you know, if I'm going to still be crocheting, you know, like I said, I took a few days off from filming. The last video I put out was on Christmas Day, and I did, I believe, film that on Christmas Day. So the 26th, 27th, 28th. 2 days. Today's the 28th. 2 days is about all I can handle, because even yesterday I was kind of itching to film, so I hope you don't mind, but I'm not taking a 2-week break. We're just going to try and get a balance, and I'm thinking that the schedule might be Mondays. Like I said, I was working on figuring out whether I want to do Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, or whether I want to do Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, right? Because I want to do at least 3 videos a week. And depending on when, because it's Sunday, the 28th, if I can edit this up tonight, I'm not rushing. If I can edit this up tonight I might post it tomorrow. If I do that, then we'll go with Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If I can't get it done by tomorrow and up by tomorrow, then we will do Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That's what I'm going for, because once I start, that's what the pace I want to keep at. And I'm still waiting for YouTube to allow me to go live. Because as of right now, they're saying they're still verifying and all that. But I just wanted to come on and show you. Yesterday, I worked on it all day. And it took me, like, I frogged part of it back once because it was too big. But I finally made the pattern for my beret. And I made a beret yesterday. I don't know what berets are supposed to look like, but I think I did a good job. That's what it looks like right now. And the measurements all came out. And that's how I actually designed it, because I was kind of loosely following a tutorial. And I guess that I must have used a different hook size than what was recommended, because I wasn't paying attention. So, what else is new, right? So, the hook size that I was using, I went by that and it was way too big. So, I decided to go by measurement instead. And I think for a adult size, like it did have, like, I think medium, small, medium, and large. I believe this one might be the medium, 10 inches by 10.5 inches, or 10 inches. I wrote it down. Hold on. It measures 10.5 inches by 8.5 inches. So, this is 10.5 inches, and the brim is 8.5 inches. And I have that written down, so I might make a few more of these to put them up on my website. And I think it came out pretty. I don't know, do I want to put it on? I don't really look good with hats, and I really don't want to put it. Alright, why not? Let's see. I mean, yeah, I guess, like, wearing it like this, that's not bad. I don't know how to wear these. I don't know how you're supposed to wear them. I'm not really a hat person unless it's a fitted beanie or a slouch beanie. So, this is a present. And I hope she's not watching, because if she sees it, even though I don't mention her name, she's going to know it's for her. But I did finish this, and I had some yarn left over. So, I wasn't able to make another one. Not enough yarn. However, I was able to make a fitted beanie. Ta-da! And I think it came out so cute. I don't know if I want to. I think I might actually keep this one for myself. I really like the way it came out. And it gave me literally just enough. There was no scraps. That's literally what I had left. So, this was... I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. And it's a super soft, super savings print. because it's red, but it does have like speckles. I don't know if it's like dark red or black. And the color, oh, it's tweed, red tweed. There you go. Alrighty then. It's red tweed. And this skein came with 152 yards. 252 yards. Y'all, I feel like I'm going crazy. And what else is new? So 252 yards gave me a French beret, or a beret, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I just make the stuff. And a fitted beanie. And by fitted beanie, I mean just that. It's like there was no room. Sometimes, like, I do love these because, again, and I like the way I look in these. You know, it's just something to keep your head covered, right? In case, you know, you don't want, like, the slouch beanies. Those are the medium ones are my favorite, where it's just, like, you know, just a little bit bigger than the fitted beanie, but not as big as a regular slouch beanie that I make. And, I would have liked if it would have made like one more round of granny stitch, but it didn't. But it's okay. I like the way it came out. I like the fitted beanie. I like the way it looks on me. And I'm okay with that. And I don't think that's bad. So, you know, if I can get some more of this yarn, the tweed, if I can get a bit more of this yarn, then, you know, I can make a bunch of hats. I could make, you know, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. I've never really looked inside the back. But if I can get some more of this yarn, that would be really cool. And I would be able to make, at least I know I can get a full beret and a fitted beanie out of it, right? So, you know, it would be a good thing to get like a few more of these skeins if I can. I don't know. I don't have, okay. Words escape me, as always. I don't have a Hobby Lobby close to me. I don't have any yarn stores close to me, to be honest. Everything is driving distance. I think the closest to me is a Michael's, which is about 20 minutes away. And the Hobby Lobby is in the other direction, and that's about 35, 40 minutes away. My Walmart that's close by, which is still like 15 minutes away, they don't have the greatest yarn selection. It sucks, to be honest. But sometimes I can find a few things there. Mainly what they have is Red Heart Super Saver and their mainstay brand in acrylic. Every once in a while, I can find like the Mandela cakes, which is where I usually buy those, but sometimes they only have one or two, and, you know, I like to make big projects, especially with the Mandela cakes, whether it's the 3-weight, because I did make a cardigan for myself in the 3-weight, and for clothing, I like the Mandela 3-weight yarns. For clothing, because it's nice and drapey and flowy, and I like that. And, you know, maybe for an adult blanket, it might be nice, lightweight, but if you've been around here for a little while, you know that not for a baby blanket. And I don't care if it says baby yarn. No. That one baby blanket that I made out of 3-weight yarn, that I had to, out of the mandala, that I had to double up. I'm never doing that again. Never. Sorry, but for baby blankets, I rather use either Pound of Love, or, which I've never used. But from what I have seen them out in the wild. And I have touched them and they're nice, but I, like for a lighter weight blanket, I did make one out of the Loops and Threads Impeccable, and that I believe is a 3-weight, but it is a thicker 3-weight than the Mandala. And I like that one. That I would make a baby blanket out of again. And I do like the Loops and, well, if you're making even though it's a baby blanket, you know, sometimes you might want a thicker one, a heavier one. Not thicker, but heavier for the winter. I do like the Loops and Threads. That's, I think, like my go-to yarn, to be honest. I do love Big Twist, but Big Twist is on the thinner side of a 4-weight, in my opinion. And if you're making a lighter project where you still want it to be warm, but not super heavy like the Loops and Threads or the Hobby Lobby yarn that I made, the I Love This yarn, which in solid colors, that I made my fall cardigan and my fall sweater, which I think I'm going to put on because I might step out and go hang out at my friend's house for a little while. It is freezing here. The last time I checked, I think it was like 20 degrees outside. There is snow on the ground, and it is apparently freezing, but I have been stuck in the house since Christmas. Well, technically, I got home on Christmas Day. Yeah, and I haven't left. I left that morning to go to the pharmacy, and that was like literally like all of 3 minutes because it's right down the street from my house. So, like, I was out for at the most 5 minutes and haven't left the house since. So, I do need to get out a little bit, and I was thinking of going to hang out at her house for a little while. So, I might put that sweater on because it is a lot thicker. Right now, I have, this is my shrug. I don't know if you can see it. This is all from Scrap Yarn. I got this yarn off of Amazon, again, before I knew what I was buying. And they had this, like, I thought, oh, it was a great deal. This, you know, it said 4-weight, which it was, I mean, I don't think it was a true 4-weight. I would say it's like borderline 3-weight. But it was the tiniest skeins. They were like literally like that big and like about that big. I think they were 25 gram skeins. I don't know. I don't remember. They didn't even have labels on them. They came in this big like bag that was vacuum sealed. And it was all these colors. The only 2 colors that are missing from here is the red and the black. Because, I don't know, I just didn't like the way it mixed with the rest of the colors. So, I had no idea what to do with that yarn. And it had been sitting for almost a year. I made this in, I think, January or February. Maybe February or March. And I had it for a very long time because, again, it was one of the first yarns that I bought off of Amazon. And it wasn't a lot. But it was enough to make this. Now, the outline, this outline right here, this darker purple, that was mainstay. And it was just enough to do the border on the top because, you know, it was a little bit too open, like not open, but it looked unfinished. And because this was the chain, and it just looked unfinished, and I didn't like it. It was when I started, right? So I did 2 panels, and I worked them both at the same time so that I can split the yarn evenly. And I just went till I ran out of color, and then added another one, and this was the first true scrap project that I did. And all it gave me were the 2 panels and a little bit of the sleeve. I had a little bit left, and I did both sleeves, and it ran out here. And I don't like quarter sleeves. I don't like, you know, short sleeves. I like sleeves. So, and I like long sleeves at that. So what I did was, I believe this is mainstay. And I bought a skein of the mainstay. And I finished off the sleeves. And I will use mainstay. I will not use Red Heart Super Saver. I just don't like it. And it actually, like, when I work with it for too long, my hands feel like they're on fire. Especially this hand, because I run my yarn through my left hand. And I can't. I've tried several times using Red Heart. I think I bought like 2 skeins of it. And I still have it. I don't know what to do with it. I really don't. I think, like, if I make, and I just don't like the way it feels on my skin. I just can't. And I know that a lot of people love Red Heart, use Red Heart. They say it gets softer when you wash it. That might be true. Honestly, I don't want to use it. I will not buy Red Heart. I don't want to use it ever. No offense to anyone who likes it. It's just my personal preference. And the other yarn that I will probably never, ever, 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 ever use is like a merino wool. Any type of wool. I might be allergic. I don't know. It just feels funny and makes me itch. I should get checked to see if I'm allergic, right? But that would make sense. But other than that, I don't like mohair. I don't like the feel of it. I don't like wool. The only natural fibers that I really like and I'm okay with is cotton and bamboo I've used, although I'm not too, I have a bunch of thin yarn that's bamboo yarn, the Kaboo yarn, and I'm desperately trying to figure out what to make with it because I don't really like working with thin yarn. I don't like it. I like the feel of the bamboo, but it's way too thin. And, you know, I might double strand it, but to me, I don't know. It's just such a waste because yarn is so expensive and double stranding it, I don't know. Maybe it's just a me thing. But anyway, I finished this beanie this morning. So I made the beret last night, or actually it took me the day. But in between, I also, if you saw, I also, let's put that over there. I also sewed up some more squares. So that's really why I wanted to come on and show you. I finished these a few minutes ago. This one and this one. Now, I know I showed you. I don't honestly know which ones I showed you. And I don't know what order. I believe these are the last ones that I did. But I'm just going to run down and show you them all real quick. I believe by now, and we're going to count them off. But if I'm not mistaken, there should be about 32 done. So 1 and 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They look so pretty with the ends sewn in. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I like that one a lot. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, I like that one too, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Oh, I like that one too. 26, 27. Oh, I like that one. 28, 29, 30. I like that. 31 and 32. I was right. Oh, check me out. So I got 32 squares all ready to go. They're done. They just need to be laid out and figure out which order we're going to put them in and start putting them together. And I am so excited because I honestly have no clue how big this blanket is going to be. Because, again, there are 50 squares, right? The rest of them are right here. Here, I'll put this down here for right now. The rest of them are right here. This is what I have left. And they do look so much nicer when the ends are sewn in. But I have this stack left. I will finish this today. And hopefully I will be able to lay out all the squares today. And kind of see how I want to do them. And start connecting them. And I am so excited. Because, like I said, there's 50 squares, right? And it's a 5 by 5 square. So, I have absolutely no idea how big it's going to be. No clue. Because we're doing the join as you go method. So, you know, it's going to add another round to it. And I'm very excited to see how that's going to come out. I really am. I really am excited to see how that's going to come out and how it's going to look. I still have to figure out how to do it. I mean, I know how to do it, but I've only done it like on my cardigans and my sweater. I've never done anything like a blanket before. So I know it's going to be like, I guess I gotta join them all, like, I think it's better if I join them all this way first, join this one, and I don't know which order they're gonna go in yet, but let's just say I gotta join this one here, and this one here, and then once the sides are all I might do them row by row and then just do the whole section. But I'll figure all that out. But I just can't wait because I know that it's already, like, putting them side by side is already big enough. I think this is going to come out to be a massive blanket. And if it is as big as I think it is, then I definitely am going to use it in my room and keep it in here. But I think I've talked enough for this episode. I am not going to crochet anything tonight, right now, darlings. I'm sorry, but I do want to, I don't want to crochet anything at the moment. Okay, sorry about that. I can't remember what I was saying. It was just that fast. I'm not going to be crocheting anything right now because I don't want to crochet anything until I get all these squares sewn in. I wanted to show y'all what I was doing. I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to film anything else for this video. Like I said, at this moment, I'm not even sure what I'm going to do in the next 20 minutes. But I do want to work. I am going to sew the rest of these today. And we'll leave it at that. I'm going to sew the rest of these today. So when I'm done sewing them, I will come and show you before we close out this video. How's that sound? That sound good? And maybe we might get some crocheting done this video. I don't know. It all depends on when I get this all sewn up and if there's enough time to film anything later. So a thought just popped into my head, and it's, you know, that ADD brain. What I might do is, like, I can always, instead of, like, hot mess. Okay. What I was going to say, or what I was thinking, rather, is that what I can do is have this video go into later or tomorrow even, and I might start attaching it and film that. And that way, you know, you get a regular video and you get to see what they started off as, all finished, nice and pretty, because they really are so pretty. And maybe start to see me make a blanket. I don't know. Like I said, I don't even know what I'm doing in the next 20 minutes, let alone the rest of the day. So, let's just play it by ear and see what happens. Either I will be back later to show you all the finished squares. Maybe. What do we think? Or maybe I'll show you all the squares and start working on the blanket. But we shall see. So, I'll be back. Hey guys. Okay, so I didn't film anymore. Today is Monday, the 29th, I believe. I did not film anymore yesterday. I went to my friend's house and just relaxed at her house for a little while and finished sewing all the ends into my squares. Now, I'm not going to show you all of them because I already laid them out. We laid them all out and put them together, and I do have 3 on my bed, actually, that I already, 3 rows that I connected, and they're going to be 10 rows of 5 squares. So it's going to be a pretty long blanket. Now, I don't at the moment know exactly how wide it's going to be because, until you put them all together, you don't really know, because I'm doing the join as you go method, right? So right now I'm doing all the rows across, and that's what I'm working on right now. I tried clipping them together, but I didn't have enough clips, so I could show you what I have here. I have more over there where I clipped them together. But these, I did not. I just stacked them, so I know this one's the first one that's going in this row. And then this one's the second one that's going in the row. And like that. Okay, so 3, 4, 5. And I tried to, even them out as much as I could, because there are a lot of funky colors in here. So these are the last 2 rows that I have that aren't clipped. And as I go to, I love this one. As I go to, I always, I've been doing it with some of those, because I started on the ones that I didn't have clips for. So when I started putting the blanket together yesterday, I went from bottom to top, right? So I clipped them from the bottom going up. And then when I was still at her house, and I ended up putting 2 whole rows together. And right now, I was watching a video. So during that video, which was about, I think, maybe half an hour, I put the last row together, that's done. So I have 3 complete rows that are all attached. And I think that's how I'm going to do it. It makes the most sense to me. I know that some people, I've seen where some people, they attach them first the long way and then do the sides. I don't know. I guess it's personal preference. I don't know how this is gonna come out. Like I said, this type of connecting, blanket-wise, square-wise, like this, I've never done. This is new for me. I have, as you know, made a few hexi cardigans. A few is a bit of an understatement. But I've made quite a few hexi cardigans. And recently, the last, I think, 3 or 4 that I made, I learned the join as you go. So the sleeves are join as you go. The back is join as you go. And I think I also implemented that on some other projects, and I really like that method. I'm still trying to perfect it. I got the gist of it, and now, as you know, if you've watched me for quite some time, I don't do well with following patterns, and following a strict tutorial, because I get confused. So really, when I watch tutorials, I just get the gist of it, and then I figure out how to do it the way that's easiest for me. And once I get more comfortable and kind of know a little bit more, I do want to share that, because I know I've said this in previous videos. One of the reasons that I wanted to start this channel was because I wanted to, one, share my journey, because this is new for me. And I've only been, you know, making actual items for a year. Sorry. For a whole year, the first year that I started, let's see. Okay, I'm trying to see how I want it. Okay. The first year that I started, I was just learning stitches. So I have quite a few panels that I made, all kinds of panels. And I made towards the end, I did make quite a few dishcloths, some bandanas, you know, just learning the stitches. And last year is when I really got into making actual, like, different kinds of items, like cardigans. And my first Christmas cardigan, my first, I know I didn't have that out this year, but that's okay. My first wearable was made in December last year. So technically I've been doing wearables and bags and stuff for about a year now. And it's still a learning process for me. So I don't feel like, I want to make sure that I get my techniques and the things that I do down and, you know, exactly the way I want it before I share things. But that was one of the reasons why I wanted to make this channel, make these videos, not only to, you know, share my journey, but also to hopefully, you know, be able to share what I've learned and hopefully help someone who has, you know, issues like I do. And that's really why I wanted to start this. So as soon as I don't know what the right word is that I want to use. As soon as I know that what I'm doing works, if you have any idea of the word that I'm looking for, feel free to put it down in the comment section. But, you know, I want to make sure and test it and make sure that it works the right way before I share it, like, all the way. Before I really go into detail with what I do. Because I believe I do, you know, give you an idea of how I do things. Oh, that was too loose. I do give an idea, more or less, of how I do things, but it's not like a real step-by-step kind of thing. So, step by step, oh baby. Sorry, my teenager came out. Oh, okay. You could tell it's early in the morning. I haven't had much coffee. And surprisingly enough, I'm really not that tired. But anyway, once I have, once I feel more comfortable with what I'm doing, I'm definitely going to start sharing. And there are quite a few projects that I made this year for myself that I haven't shared, like the process of it, you know, like the bag that I made out of granny squares with all the pockets. I'm definitely going to be making more of those. Not only for myself, because I do want that style pocketbook in different colors, but also to put up on my website in case somebody would like one. And I'm also going to, you know, share how I do it. And I'm still trying to figure everything out. You know, like, this is also a learning process for me. But I do have, I guess you can call them patterns that I wrote down that I made. I don't know how original they are. Honestly, I don't know anything about that just yet. I have, you know, haven't really dove into the research about that, but like, if you know, I don't follow patterns. I can't mainly because of my dyslexia. It's very hard for me to understand because I have really bad dyslexia where, like, words get turned around, not only just letters or numbers, it's like I see the whole sentence backwards, and it's very hard for me. It was always a problem, like in school. So it's like something that I've had to deal with my whole life. And one of the ways that I would get past that, especially, you know, when it came to making stuff, is hold on a second. I got confused for a second. One of the things that I'm more of a, like, hands-on and visual learner. Like, if I see someone doing something, it's easier for me to try and copy it my way. So if I see someone, like if I see a sweater that I like, and I see more or less how it's made, I can pretty much figure out how to recreate that. And I do it my way. What's easier for me? The techniques that I've used when I was learning to help me in little things, like how many times you chain before you turn, depending on the stitch. How now I do things a little bit different where, you know, if I'm doing double crochets for the most part, depending on the project, but for the most part now, I don't chain. I do a stacked single crochet to get that. And it's just little things here and there. Like every time I do things that have to do with chains, I don't work right into the chain. Like if I'm doing something that involves a V-stitch or a granny stitch or just even simple double crochet, I do not work straight into the chain. The only time I might work straight into the chain is if I'm doing a half double. But for the most part, 99% of the time, I always do a row of single crochet because I just find that chain, that foundation chain, a little flimsy. So I do things a little bit different because it works for me. And by no means am I telling you that you should do it the same way I do it. Because I'm not inventing anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are things that I might do that maybe nobody's ever tried before, but it's not groundbreaking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to figure it out for myself. I'm not trying to invent anything new. I'm trying to do what's best for me to get the results that I need and the techniques that are best for me. I don't know, someone might be doing the same thing that I do. I don't know because I haven't seen it. But I'm not saying that I'm the only one who's doing it. Absolutely not. There might be someone out there who, I don't know, hold on. There was like something on my screen. Anyway, I don't know if someone is out there who's doing it the same way, but they're too, you know, embarrassed or shy to share it because they don't know if they're doing it right. If I've learned anything this last 2 years is that when it comes to crochet, I don't care what anybody says, there's no right or wrong way to do it. As long as you get the outcome that you're supposed to get, that's all that matters. I don't do granny squares the way most people do granny squares, but I get the same result. So that's all that matters, and that's what I really want to let, to get across. That's what I want to share with people. That sometimes the most, conventional way of doing things isn't the only way. And don't let anyone, tell you you're doing it wrong. I've had some people say that to me. You're doing it wrong. And all, I say is that just because I don't do it the same exact way you do, doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means it's different. And that's what I want to share with everyone. That just because you don't do it the exact same way that everyone else does it, because they're following patterns, and that is awesome. If you can do it that way, dude, God bless you. Because there are sure some things that I see that are really pretty, and, like in the beginning, before I really knew certain things, I would be like, wow, I don't know how the hell I'm going to do that. But the more I crocheted and the more I learned, the more I figured it out. And that's all I want to share. I just want people like me to know that there's not just one way of doing things, y'all. There's many ways of doing things. And just because you do it different doesn't mean you do it wrong. I did that wrong. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all good. As long as, it works for you, that's all that matters. And if there's people out there who do things the same way I do, and you're watching this video, let me know. I would think that's so awesome to know someone has a problem like mine. I'm trying to see which is the right side and which... Okay, this is the right side. This is the right side, and this is the right side. And how do I want to do that square? This is what I've been doing, like, honestly, like, for the last... since yesterday, it's like figuring out which way do I want my square. Which way do I like it best? Okay, I think I'm going to go this way. And again, the way I'm connecting it, I might not be doing it like everybody else. It might not be the way that it's supposed to be, or the way most people do it. But frankly, for one, I'm not most people, and I'm not saying that in any mean way or anything like that, but my brain just does not function like normal people. And that's just the truth. That's just reality. It never has. I've never, my way of thinking has always been very different than the people around me. And most people don't understand until I finally finish what I'm doing, and then they're like, "Oh, you wanted to do that? Well, why didn't you just do it this way?" Because my brain doesn't work that way. It doesn't. It's not wired like that. So between the ADD and the dyslexia, my brain doesn't function that way. And so I have to figure out how to do it in a way that works for me. So if you're watching me doing this and you're like, well, that's not exactly how you do it, that's okay. If the end result is the same and it looks good and it looks pretty, that's okay. And that's the point that I want to get across. And I have no idea. There we go. I have no idea what kind of videos I'm going to do. If you haven't noticed by now, this channel is not like your normal crochet channels. I'm a very, let's say, unique person. I do not like, not that I don't like, but to me, I do not feel the need. Let's put it that way. I do not feel the need, and I never have, to be just like everybody else. And I've never been into, the trendy things, and that's not me. That's not who I am. It's never been who I am, and it's never going to be who I am. I am okay with being different and out of the box and doing things my own way, because I've always been that way. For the most part, it hasn't won me many popularity contests, but that's okay. Now, I'm going to show you. If any of you are watching me, and I don't know if you can, really see my hands at this point, because I'm still trying to figure out. I still have to get a tripod, so the camera's on a weird angle, but that's how it came out. You see that? Now, it might not be the exact, my technique might not be like everyone else's, but I think that looks pretty darn good. And I'm really interested in seeing how it works when I finally put the rows together. Now, I don't know, I have 2 more squares for this one, but I need to take a break. So I might end this video here. Because if I remember correctly, I'm probably close to an hour from yesterday's video and today, and but anyway, I know I'm very strange to some people. Some people might see me and think that I'm very weird and eclectic, and I am. Not hiding that. I do go to the beat of my own drum. And that's just how I've always been. And, dude, I'm 50. If it hasn't changed by now, it's not going to. You know what I'm saying? I like being me. I'm not trying to be anybody else. I don't want to be anybody else. I don't want to do things like everybody else. I like being me and doing things my way. And if you enjoy watching me, which I hope you do, even if it's to watch the crazy lady, who crochets and talks a lot and acts like a fool, I'm here. Like the hot mess. The one who forgets sometimes that she is 50. And I mean that literally. But I don't know all of that to say. I don't know what direction my videos are going to go. I'm not going to put out a plan or a schedule as to what types of videos I'm going to be doing, because honestly, I have no clue. And I am trying to watch my language. I don't want to offend anybody, but I do tend to have a bit of a, as my mother used to say, trucker's mouth. So sometimes words do slip out, and it's not on purpose. It's not to offend anybody. It is just who I am. And those of you who know me, if anyone on here that's watching me knows me personally, you will know that I am doing a very good job and very hard to keep my cursing to a bare minimum. Normally, it only slips out if I'm not, thinking. Which some of you might be saying I don't think very often and about what I say. And you're right. My mother always used to say I had no filter. So words just come out. And if I offend anybody, that is not what I'm trying to do. That's just who I am. And if you don't want to watch, that's okay too. I just wanted to address it that you're seeing me. I'm not pretending to be anything. This is just who I am. Actually, it's more of a toned down version of who I am, if you believe that. But, I think we started with this square. Yeah, right. We started. Thank God I have a picture. My friend, she took a picture yesterday of the blanket once it was laid out. Once we figured out where all the squares went, which I moved a few times, so she had to take like multiple pictures. But anyway, I do have a picture, so at least I know where the squares go. But I'm going to continue to work on this. And, this was supposed to be my week off, but we're not doing that. I can't sit still for very long. Relaxing for me is just working on my projects slowly. And just taking my time, not rushing. That's relaxing for me. So, and I don't, do it all day long either. So, I'll sit down and work on it for a little while. And then when I need to take a break, I take a break as long as I want. So that's going to be my relaxing time. And like I was saying, I know how there are some crochet artists and crochet channels where, they do a Whip It Wednesday and, whatever. I think like Cinnamon Stitches. I love her. I have a white hair. Wow. Okay. sorry, the ADD. She does it like a makes Monday, I think it is. And, and I love watching that. They're fun. But I don't do very well with like that kind of structure, I guess. It's hard for me to explain things sometimes, because my mind, like, I'll just think of something and want to do it. So this vlog might be a little more chaotic than other vlogs, and it's just who I am, and I hope you enjoy that. I can guarantee that I believe I figured out my schedule. I think I'm going to do Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And get out a video every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I still have not been cleared by YouTube to go live. I'm hoping that by today, which you'll see this tomorrow, but I'm hoping that by today or by tonight, I can maybe do a live if YouTube allows me to. But we'll see how that goes. And I don't know if I'm going to have any structured schedule for lives, because that's too much planning for me. Because like I said, I'm more of a go with the flow kind of girl. And to be honest, structure like that kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of hinders my creativity. I'm a very creative person. Not only do I crochet, because this is recent, but for a long time, for many years, I made jewelry by hand, with beads and wire, and like now, my thumbs, even though I stopped for a while, my thumbs are still kind of messed up from like the wire. They're very like, they were really cut up at one point because I would wire beads by hand and do all the connectors, and maybe one day I can show that. But, I made jewelry for a very long time, and then when I was trying to find something else, because, that does take a toll on your hands, I wanted to find something different, so I dabbled, and I always loved arts and crafts, even as a kid. So I think I've showed you there are some boxes that I've made and covered with fabric. There's a whole bunch of things. I'm just a very creative person, and I love art and crafts and all that stuff. I started painting, I think, like 4 years ago now, maybe. About 4 years ago, I got into painting, and if you see any paintings I'm in my room, so the one up there, and I can show you, I guess. See, that one up there, and those 3 right there, I made those. And there's some more in my room that, I've made. I know when I showed you the Christmas tree, the paintings on those walls, those are all my paintings. So it's, I don't just crochet. It is my favorite obsession, and I think the one that might stick long term, because I get so much use out of it, and that's what I love, because I could make blankets, I could make scarves, hats, bags, cardigans, sweaters if I want, cuffs. I can't, really think of much else at the moment because, I'm tired and I need more coffee. And that's another thing. You don't see me drinking coffee while I'm filming because I am very clumsy. And I do tend to knock things down. I don't know if you've noticed, but I do get very clumsy. So, fluids around me when I'm trying to make something not a good idea. But I am a coffeeholic. I do drink a lot of coffee. I literally drink coffee all day long. If I don't have a certain amount of coffee, I get a very, very, very bad headache. And I know this might sound very strange to most of you, but I have to have a nice hot cup of coffee before I go to sleep. It's like somebody drinking hot chocolate. Like, if I don't have like a little bit of coffee before I go to sleep, I will like not be able to sleep and then have to get up and have some coffee. It's very weird. And I know most of you are going to think that I'm crazy, but that might be true. Who knows? But I do drink a lot of coffee, and my head is starting to hurt because I don't think I've had a full cup of coffee yet today. I mean, oh wow, it's already 11. But I've been up since like 7:45 this morning. But I need to take a break because I did one whole row before I got on camera, and I got these 3 done. So I am going to continue working and continue filming. I will see. They're actually not taking me very long because I think I can do 2 whole rows in an hour. If I'm really like, I'm not really trying very hard. I'm not working very fast. If I wanted to, I think I could. But I think that today, crocheting throughout the day, I think I could get most of these rows done. And I will try to film most of it. How much of it? I don't know. But, I mean, not for a long time. I might show you what I'm connecting and just do, a video like that. Because I don't honestly know how long it's going to take me to connect the entire blanket. I have no idea. I'm thinking that, like the rows, I might be able to get, if not all of them done today, because I have, including this one to finish, I have 7. This one's almost done, so it's not going to take me very long, right? So, this one, let's not count this one, so there's 6 more to go. So, I'm going to see how many rows I can get done today. And what I might do is, now that I'm more familiar with, editing and the process and how to work it, what I think I might do, oh, and you know what? I mean, I'm thinking as I'm talking, but I don't know about completely in the future, but I know that, like, for this video, what I can do is film for 2 days and get enough clips and then put them together, because I know how to do that now. Yay me. But maybe that's what we'll do, and break it down like I did yesterday and today. Like, I made half the video yesterday, and now I'm doing the other half of this video today. Put it together, and that way I can have at least all the squares, like, put together, and all the rows, at least all the rows like this attached. And once I have all of them like this, maybe I can do that video and then do like a second video where I do all around and film for, see how much I can get. I hate planning like that, because every time I try to do that like a normal human being and plan out a schedule, it never works for me. It never has. So let's try and phrase it this way. I will take 2 days and film 2 days and see how much we can get done in 2 days. And that's what we're going for right now. But I have talked enough. Thank you so much if you've watched till the end of the video. Y'all are awesome. I want to say a big thank you. I don't know who most of you are. I'm still trying to figure out how to work the can't think of words. The analytics or anything like that, to figure out who's watching me, or you know, I don't know. But I have gone, I'm gonna get choked up. I did put out a video last week of when I hit 50 subscribers. And at this moment, I don't know how far back that was. Maybe like 7 days or so. But within that time, I checked last night and this morning, and I'm at 63 subscribers. And to all of the new subscribers, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All I'm trying to do is make a difference and help somebody. Ooh, I'm not doing it. Help somebody who just needs a little kindness and a little understanding. And if I can do that, that means the world to me. So for all the new subscribers, thank you so much. And I hope this channel can grow. And I just hope I can make a difference to someone who might be feeling the same way that I am. And I want to thank all the new subscribers that have subscribed and watched my videos. It means the world to me. And I want to thank the one person who's also watched me religiously since she found me. And she's very special because Peggy was the first person who left me a comment. Now, I believe my friend did leave me a comment one time, but like, since she found me, Peggy has been the only person that really comments every single time. And when I was thinking of giving up on the channel because I wasn't really going anywhere and I didn't have a lot of followers and no one was commenting and I barely had any likes, and that's when I think she found me, and she messages me every day. Every video that I put out, she sends me a message. And I know that I help her, but you also help me. And I appreciate you very much, more than you can know. And if I can keep you company and make your day a little bit brighter, that brings me joy. And at this point in my life, all I want is joy. All I want is to be my authentic self and hope that there are people out there who will appreciate the insanity and mess that I am and watch and hopefully learn something, whether it's crochet or whether it's, something else. I don't know. But I'm not going to pretend to be something that I'm not. And I'm not going to try and be like everybody else. And I hope that y'all are okay with that. And I hope you stick around. And enjoy the train wreck. If you want to keep following me, I'm sorry, guys. Lately I've been really emotional. But anyway, I hope you stick around. If you really want to stick around and watch this mess, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button so I know that you like my videos. And I can't remember. Oh, if you really want to know when I'm on, that little bell, just hit the little bell and it'll let you know when I'm on. And I also have an Instagram and a Facebook page, which I will be more consistent with this year coming. Last year was a big mess, and I will talk about that in the next video. But last year was just all over the place, and I was overwhelmed. And this year, I'm going to find more structure. It might not be structure in the normal sense of the word, but there will be some kind of structure. And on that note, thank everybody. Thank y'all so much for watching. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me for a little while. And I hope that everyone has a great day. Bye, guys. See y'all later.